Oscar Piastri has put in a mega late stint to the first half of his F1 season, and he's kind of reminded people why people consider him a potential future champion. But how good is his rookie season, and who is he the best rookie since? Good day guys, my name is F1 Luke Sam, and thank you for clicking on today's video. As a fellow Aussie, it's great to see one of the now two Aussies on the grid performing well and getting what they want out of the car, making their team and country proud. It's amazing. But Oscar's rookie season, and in particular the second half to the first half before the summer break, has been mega. It's been awesome. But how does it compare to some of the greats that we see now today when they were a rookie? Let's find out. Now, we know McLaren had an absolute dog of a car at the start of the season. Lando and Oscar both couldn't drive it. But now that their car is up to and above par and above where we expected them to be, it's awesome to see Oscar match and sometimes beat Lando Norris. And it's shocking. To be frank, it's shocking. I tell you what's more shocking than that, the fact that this rookie is popping shots at soon-to-be three-time world champion Max Verstappen. It's something that Hamilton struggled to do, it's something that Perez isn't fast enough to do, and Leclerc usually isn't on the right strategy or even right tyres to do. I mean, let's go back to Silverstone. Lap 1, turn 1, Lando Norris takes the lead. It's amazing, but it doesn't stop there. Lando maintains the lead, but Oscar Piastri, behind throughout the whole first lap, is actively trying to find space or a way around Max Verstappen, and it's something we haven't seen for so long. Let's go a week forward from Silverstone. We're now in Hungary, and to back up my last statement of him trying to actively find a way around Max Verstappen and whoever's in front of him into turn 1, lap 1 again, Verstappen pushes Hamilton wide, and Oscar, being the fortunate person he is able to take that position and make up second place. But again, it never stops there with Oscar. He's always trying to find a way through, and again, he does that with Max. My last point I'll bring up before I stop blowing wind up his ass and get on to the topic of today's video is his defense against Perez. Perez, we know when he fights through the field, he's a very aggressive driver because he needs to make up places and he needs to make them up fast. But Oscar didn't make it very easy. He sort of gave Checo the ultimatum of, you're not going to get past me, or you're going to have to borderline push me off the track and push me wide just to get around me, which is exactly what we want to see. Alright, that's enough. I've blown enough wind up his ass for now. Let's get on to the video and see who Oscar Piastri is the best rookie since. 2023, one in Nick de Vries was arguably, and in my opinion, the most hyped up driver coming into this season. And it was off the back of his 2022 Italian Grand Prix when he filled in for Alex Albon. And Logan Sargent has no points coming into the summer break, and it's rumoured that Mick Schumacher is a very high chance of replacing him. So these two, obviously not better. The sole rookie of 2022 was Zhou Guanyu, and straight away he was facing the abuse of paid driver, racer, whatever you want to call it, but he proved those doubters wrong. For this video, we'll go off the first half of these rookie seasons because that's all we've seen from Oscar, and obviously it's better than Zhou. So moving on to 2021. I try to consistently forget that this season exists, but we had three rookies: Yuki Tsunoda, Nikita Mazepin, and Mick Schumacher. Nikita Mazepin didn't score a single point for Haas, and not to mention, his first race was shorter than Oscar Piastri's first race. Mick Schumacher had a marginally better season than Nikita Mazepin, so shout out for that, but not a shout out for the damage bill that Haas got because of him. Yuki, on the other hand, I think he had an underrated rookie season. I think it was standard, I think it was good. His best finish was a P4 in Abu Dhabi. However, this was obviously post-summer break, so that doesn't count. Pre-summer break, it was still P6, which is very respectable. Also, I'd like to contrast the maturity difference between the two drivers, with Yuki screaming into his headset, which we love, but you look at Oscar Piastri's team radios, even when he was taken out in Belgium, it just screams maturity. So a big tick for Oscar there.
I don't know what he was doing. I was there and just turned in like I didn't exist.
Shut up! Moving on to 2020. We once again saw three rookies this season, but two came in the form of Jack Aitken and Pietro Fittipaldi, who filled in towards the end of the season. And the other one, I forgot for a second, I don't know how, but we'll get into him. Jack Aitken went out there and he did what he did best in a Williams, destroy every single race car that he has ever been in, and he left no stone unturned. And then there's my friend Pietro Fittipaldi. That's right, my friend. He replaced Grosjean after his big fiery scary incident, but no results to really, make eyes light up. But then there's our Lord and Saviour, Nicholas Latifi, referred to as Latifi by some and Gotifi as many. Look, this video should just end here. He had a best qualifying position of P15 and race position of 11. However, that's when his robot powers were turned down. Look, the video should end here, and why don't I end it here? I'm not going to end it here because I don't feel it's fair to compare Oscar Piastri to a half man, half robot, half Greek god, so he can be in a category of his own, and we march forward to 2019. This season saw the introduction of 3 rookies once again, but 3 real contenders. We saw Lando Norris signed for McLaren, Alex Albon signed for Toro Rosso, and George Russell signed for Williams. George had a very tough first year, and if we isolate it to the first half of the year, he had no Q1 exits, he had no points, which is unlucky, but Williams was the worst car on the grid by far.
Fact. That is true.
Alex, after summer break, was promoted to Red Bull. We know how that went. However, because we're talking about pre-summer break, we're not going to touch on the Red Bull side. Statistics-wise, Toro Rosso was the 6th fastest car on the grid. His best qualifying position was P9, and his best race position was P6. Some may be tempted to end the video here, but I for one am not. Lando Norris is an interesting case because he had the 4th fastest car on the grid, and when you compare where Oscar is now, they went from dead set last to about 3rd or 4th. So Lando's car from entry till summer break was better than Oscar Piastri's on average throughout from the start to the summer break. However, Lando was 12 points behind him at this stage. Now, taking into account that Lando didn't have sprint races and extra points up for grabs, being 12 points behind, I would say that they had a very similar season, if not extremely on point similar. However, the title of this video is Oscar Piastri is the best rookie since. Now, was Lando better? No. So we march forwards. Maybe I should say march backwards, but we're in 2018. We got 2 rookies. We're going to skip over one. Sergei Sorokin. You can get in the bin. Let's talk about Charles Leclerc, who raced for Sauber. Charles was okay. His best finish was around Azerbaijan for the first half of the season, and it was a P8. Now, it doesn't sound impressive until you realize he had the 8th best car on the grid. So it automatically becomes more impressive. However, finishing with 5 more points than Oscar Piastri has at the halfway point, that's not impressive. But look, I love you, Charles, and I think you had a great rookie season, but when you compare it to what Oscar's done, it's not close. Alright, 2017, we're going to be skipping over a few rookies here. We've got Antonio Giovinazzi, Brendan Hartley, and unfortunately, Pierre Gasly. He had a stinker. They had awful cars, but no points and no Q3 exits. Doesn't really give them any airtime. However, Lance fucking Stroll. A front row start and a bottom step of the podium finish for Lance brings him in his rookie season, in the first half still, up with the greats. And it was in a Williams nonetheless. But when you zoom out a little bit further, you're just surrounded by owls. And then when you bring Oscar Piastri into the equation, he has also had a front row start, and he hasn't had a bottom step of the podium. He's had a middle step, a P2. So, sorry, Lance. 2016 was probably the most disappointing season for rookies. So sorry to those involved, but there were no Q3 entries, and there were but barely any points. So, Rio Haryanto, Jolyon Palmer, Stoffel Van Dorn, Pascal Verlin, and Esteban Ocon. Sorry, guys. I'm surprised the video has made it this far, but a video has to come to an end at some point. We're on to 2015. We're going to be focusing on the 2 main rookies for Toro Rosso. The first one being Carlos Sainz Jr. Look, Toro Rosso had the 7th best car, and Carlos was in and out of the points, some good qualifying, some good races, but it wasn't Oscar Piastri's spec, and it certainly wasn't his teammate's spec either. How's this for a headline? Enter Max Verstappen. Look, I don't think many people understand how hard it is to be a rookie in this sport, but when Max Verstappen joined, he took the racing world by storm. However, in his first 10 races, he retired in 4 of them. For the races he finished, he had an average finishing position of 10.3, and for all the qualifying positions he participated in for the first half of the season, his average position was 10.3. Talk about consistency. All of this with the 7th best car on the grid. Now let's bring Oscar into the equation. From qualifying, his average qualifying position is 10.6, so marginally worse than Max Verstappen. But his race results that he's finished, he's retired in 2 of the first half of the races, is 11.2 in races. Yes, McLaren had a bad start, but you compare that to the Toro Rosso of 2015, Max had to deal with that for the whole season, whereas McLaren are now well above that. So you can be the judge. We may have a case for Oscar Piastri being the best rookie since Lando Norris, and it's kind of a fun story. Both McLaren drivers, it's full circle, it's a nice, well-rounded story. But it's scary to think if Oscar is the best rookie since Lando Norris, and in his rookie season he's matching and sometimes beating Lando Norris, what can this man become? However, based on the evidence shown at the end of this video to do with Max Verstappen v Oscar Piastri in their rookie season, there's no doubt in my mind that Max Verstappen had a borderline better first half to his rookie season. Therefore, with confidence, I can say Oscar Piastri is the best rookie since Max Verstappen. Wow. Who knows, the back end of this season, Oscar Piastri might have a blinder and blow Max Verstappen's rookie season out of the water in proportion. But it may not. Oscar Piastri might become a 2 or 3 time world champion. He may not. And that's the beautiful thing about Formula 1. We never really know. What I do know is, if you did like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you agree that Oscar Piastri is the best rookie since Max Verstappen, be sure to let me know in the comments. If you disagree, tell me I'm wrong. Who is Oscar the best rookie since? Thank you guys for taking the time to watch today's video. I've been F1 Luke Sam, and as always, you guys have been amazing. Stay safe.